اپنی سرزمین، اپنی دھرتی، اپنا گھر بار چھوڑ دینا کوئی آسان کام نہیں ہوتا، انتہائی کٹھن لمحہ ہوتا ہے، پر اللہ کے پیارے حبیب حضرت محمد مصطفیٰ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے اسلام کی سربلندی اور بقا کی خاطر یثرب کی جانب ہجرت فرمائی۔ تو آئیے آپ کو لیے چلتے ہیں ہجرت مدینہ کے تاریخی سفر پر۔ بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم۔ السلام علیکم friends, today is the third lecture of our journey with Islamic history and our lecture is about the Hijrah or Hijrat Medina. So let's start the lecture. Hijrah refers to the migration of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his followers from Mecca to Medina in 622 AD. It was the turning point in the history of Islam as well as in the history of the world because it holds great significance in Islamic history and marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar. Well, let's have a look at the cause of the Hijrah. The Prophet ﷺ preached openly 3 years after his prophecy. During this time, the message was given secretly to selected individuals only, but common people of Mecca were unaware of it. It is important to note that before that, he preached secretly for 3 years. After the proclamation of his prophecy, opposition began by individuals. The success of the Prophet ﷺ was an eyesore to the Quraysh. At first, they laughed at him, but later tortured him. This continued hostility was another cause of the Hijrah. Friends, in the 10th year of his prophecy, he lost his dearest companions, his uncle Abu Talib and his wife, Hijrah Khadija radiallahu anha. The death of these great personalities made Prophet ﷺ alone and helpless in Mecca. The time the Holy Prophet ﷺ spent in Mecca was a period of hard trial and painful suffering for him and his followers. Therefore, the aggressive attitude of the people of Mecca was an important factor contributing to the migration. Immediate cause. Despite certain challenges and a painful period, the Prophet ﷺ was not ready for migration until the Quraysh of Mecca planned to kill him. So the main and immediate cause of the Hijrah was the Quraysh's plot to murder him and the invitation of the people of Medina. Let's move on to the main topic, and that is the Hijrah. The death of Abu Talib and Hijrat Khadija radiallahu anha made Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam helpless in Mecca. Abu Talib, his uncle, was a tower defense of the Prophet ﷺ. The continued hostility of the Quraysh ultimately compelled the Prophet ﷺ to look elsewhere for propagation of his faith. He ordered to his followers to migrate to Yathrib, old name of Medina. In the meantime, the Quraysh planned to kill him, but the Prophet ﷺ with Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu and Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu still had been waiting in Mecca for divine command. When the danger reached to its climax and the order of God came, he decided to migrate to Yathrib. Madinatun Nabi or Madina Munawwara means city of the Prophet or city of the light. Well, here before closing this lecture, we have to briefly touch on the significance of the Hijrah. Dear friends, be aware that the importance of the Hijrah is not limited to the Islamic world, but it also had impacts to the worldwide civilization. As I told you before that it was a turning point in the history of Islam as well as the history of the world because it changed the course of the human being. Muslims were in minority in Mecca and their position was too weak, but in Medina they got power and prestige and able to live their lives according to Sharia. In Medina, the real power and authority was in the Muslim hands, and the Prophet ﷺ became the absolute political leader with unlimited powers. The city of Medina became an Islamic state in the 30 years duration under pious or rightly guided caliphs, Khilafat Rashida. Well, a bunch of thanks and Jazakallah for staying with us. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.